Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode number 12, I think, of the High Soapbox. I am joined by someone who was, in effect, a complete stranger about an hour and a half ago, Mr. Randy. Welcome to the welcome to the podcast, sir.
I'm happy to be here.
So me and Randy here met through social media in a closed group through a mutual griping about somebody being a dickhead online. and I shot him a message and he asked him if he wanted to come on, and here we are. So just a little bit about you to start. So you're Floridian, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Live in Florida. I've lived here most of my life, on and off. Well, here in West Virginia, back and forth.
Well, so you just like you've lived in either West Virginia or Florida, different points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so what is your take on the internet memes of like of Florida and Floridians?
It's all true.
It's all.
Yeah, I think the heat does stuff to people. I do.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
yeah. Everything you hear about Florida, that's true. It's true.
Let's be real. Like, white folk like us were not made to be in the sun for this damn long, for that many times. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like July, like halfway through July, I'm just because I'm hot, I'm sweaty. I have to wear a black T-shirt to hide everything. I'm just like, ugh, I just want to be warm, cold again. Ugh. But I digress. So before we lean into the stuff, we were talking about some of the stuff we were talking about beforehand. Being a guy who's lived in Florida all your life, what are some of the weirdest things you've seen by an outsider standard? Not by yours, because I think that'd be.
I mean, me personally, I don't know. I mean, we used to have a neighbor that would eat, like, he would bring us food that, like, I don't know if you ever eaten possum or turtle or like, he would, like, most stuff that I used to think was just roadkill. Like, he would, yeah, he would, and that seemed weird to me. I guess it's all a matter of perspective. But
if you cook it when it's only been dead for a few hours, it's still good.
Well, no, I don't think he actually got the stuff off the road. Like, he actually killed it and cooked it. But yeah, I just never.
I've had turtle soup. It's not bad.
I've had it, and I'm not crazy about the flavor. It's
usually
it's definitely amphibian. It's got a different flavor to it. Yeah, it does not taste like chicken. It does not.
It does not. Is it true that you can go into some gas stations and buy 36 pieces of chicken for like $10 in some places?
There are. I've seen that. I haven't seen it in a long time though.
Yeah, it's probably been.
It's not the best
chicken. Yeah, definitely stoner food though.
And I mean, some of it might be possum. So not sure. It looks the same.
I'm not gonna lie. There is a Chinese buffet restaurant in my hometown that will remain unnamed that had a legit, like, spade, neutering, and deworming operation in the back for stray cats they caught that they would cook into the meat.
Huh. There's no doubt. There was a store, I think it was Texas, where there was a restaurant that they were serving whale fin.
I heard this on a Ron White.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. It's like, oh, you're eating whale, or you're eating kangaroo. It's like, well, I guess it's not bad. So.
I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, sometimes, like, what's the point of spending a lot of money to eat an exotic food when you could cook something that tastes better?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I have to say one of the most interesting things I've seen here living in Florida. I used to work construction, and we would work out by the beach. And here, if it gets down to 65 or 70 degrees, like we're in long sleeve and pants, and we could always tell, like, the Canadians, because it'd be 50 degrees outside, and they're out in bikinis and swim trunks and in the ocean, and we're freezing to death.
Wait, at 50?
50, 55. I mean, they just be out swimming. And
I will say for us Delaware, I will say for us Delawarean, Maryland.
Yeah, you're up there a little ways.
Like we're that's definitely still short sleeve weather for us. Like if it's not windy, then yeah, we'll go with shorts and t-shirt. Good.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We can see you guys when you come down here.
Yeah, because you can tell we used to the cold.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yo, were you okay? Did you end up turn out okay with the last hurricane, or did that just miss you?
It completely missed us. I even boarded up my windows. I thought it was going to be bad because they were like, "Oh yeah, it's not going to be anything," and then all of a sudden it was like a Category 5, and I was like, "Holy crap, we're going to die!" So, and then it just swept out, and the only thing it did, we had a little bit of wind. I have about 20 banana trees, and I had one that was actually starting to produce bananas finally, and it knocked it over and killed it. So that kind of. So that was the only thing.
And you're probably just like, mother, God, because how long were you waiting for these trees to fruit?
Well, I mean, I bought this property about 3 years ago, and there were some banana trees here, and I've been trying to cultivate them and get them going, and so, but they haven't. They haven't produced any fruit until this one started. It had like 3 bunches of little bananas starting that would have grown to larger bananas, and then. And I think part of it's my fault. I don't really know what I'm doing that much. I bought this property. I'm trying to grow my own food and trying to, I've got chickens and rabbits and garden and, collect rainwater and all this. I'm one of those, I'm not really a prepper, but
well, I mean, less reason to go to the grocery store.
Right.
I mean, the only reason you would have to go to the grocery store is spices for the food.
Yeah, that and I'm trying to get my own water source and trying to, I don't know. I was reading this article a while back where they did these tests of they tested 1,000 random people in Europe, and they found that every one of them had plastic in their stool. So
not surprised.
Everything we eat has plastic in it. So I'm like, maybe I'm going to grow my own food a little bit. Maybe not so much on the plastic, but it's just me. I might be crazy, but trying to grow my own food.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're probably going to save more money long term by doing that. So I respect that from a physical perspective.
I don't know. So far, it's cost me a damn fortune.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to live another 50 years as long as you don't have to spend too much more in that 50 years. You should be good.
Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. But what was I had a tangent I wanted to go. Oh, all right. I was looking at the Facebook Marketplace the other day, and this was 3 weeks ago. Guess what I saw? I saw a woman a few miles away from me trying to sell a purple Game Boy, the purple Game Boy Color, with no back, and with 8 games. The only one of the bunch that was probably worth any kind of money was Tetris. And then the next week she went down to 100 and then 80, and it's been at 70 for two. I just texted her out of the blue and I said, "Hey, I'll give you 20 for the Game Boy, 10 for Tetris. Keep in mind, Tetris is probably only worth $1.50, $2. But I'm just like, let me just give you something,
Yeah.
Because the Game Boy is probably worth she's like, no, I'm gonna wait for a better offer, and then we chat a little bit, and she says, yeah, I had better offers. I had better offer. I had offers that were closer to mine, what I wanted. I'm just like, and why didn't you take them? This is why you do market research first. Figure out what things are being sold for. Oh my god. Oh Lord.
How difficult it would be to do market research for something like that. I wouldn't think there'd be a lot. Think there'd be a lot of them out there. I don't know though. I don't really.
I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of them out there. Then they go.
Oh yeah.
And for one in that quality in that condition, it'd probably be $20. I used to buy and sell vintage games with Soapbox. Yeah, it's not. It's like, and the only reason, and I've just been on a Tetris stint lately. I don't know why. So I just wanted the Tetris. Oh Lord. Yeah. So what do you do for a living?
I'm IT.
IT.
Work on networks.
So you're just stuck in a cold server room all day.
Pretty much, yeah. That's that's my life. It's a little more exciting than that, but not much.
I mean,
like 1%.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when it comes to the IT profession, when things are not exciting, that's when things are great. Because when things are exciting, that means things are going wrong, especially in the networking.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you get to install some new servers and put some new, and you're expanding, like that's fun. But like the last thing you want to see is like you're just like, okay, everything's cool, everything's fine. I can sit and take a break for 10 minutes. Like can't catch on my phone, like what? And then you get an email saying, hey, I'm having an issue with my email. So it's not pulling it, and you just look at it and you're like, and realize, oh shit, like the server's this server like unit is crashing. Fuck, I gotta fix it.
Yeah. Usually it's my fault though. So
yeah,
it's always like, okay, I have to work on these things, but it's hard to
leave them alone.
Yeah, well, it's like, okay, well, we've got to upgrade this and change this, and we're migrating to this, and the thing is, a lot of times it's like working on a car while somebody's driving it, you know.
If only it was as easy as just running like sudo apt-get install or upgrade. I mean, update and upgrade. I mean to say.
Yeah, it's never that.
Never that easy.
No, it's never that easy.
I'm an IT guy, so I completely get it. I never, whenever I get an email from a client, it's never, hey, just checking on you, seeing how you're doing. Hope you're having a great weekend. No, it's always like, I want this done. I need it done. Go do this. I need 24 hours from now. Granted, you work within a corporate system. I run a small.
Yeah,
which is lucky for you. So I remember you and I were talking podcast about how that I don't really like at this point in my life. I don't really like advertising, truthfully, because it just brings a bunch of conversations like and questions that I've had multiple times. I've heard multiple times. And I just don't want to deal with it. I'm just saying I'm agnostic. And leave it at that. Is it a lie? Yeah, but it's certainly easier than wasting conversation with.
I don't tell my family that I'm atheist that much, but
they know, but they don't.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. It's like there's an unspoken, like we know, but just don't talk about it. We're gonna be you never said it, but we know, so just don't talk.
That and I really can't. I mean, it's hard to say. It's like, okay, so you can say, all right, I don't believe in God, but there's some flaws in just saying that, even.
Right, because that means you're still either. That means you think something else could be right.
Well, so the way I've come to look at it is so if you're driving down the street and you see a sign and it's got a white H and it's blue with a white H, that's a symbol for something, right? So that means hospital. The word God is a symbol the thing is, though, it represents about 20 different things. And some of those things are actually real. And just because we give it a symbol or a label or something, it doesn't mean that. I think that my issue really with theism is not that they've created a symbol for all of these different things that are part of our history and part of, but it's the what's the word I'm looking for? They give it a human
anthropology or whatever.
Anthropomorphize.
Yeah.
They give something that's inanimate human qualities. Well, it loves us. It's this or that, and it's so it's like, okay, well
let's be frank about this though. Jesus, like in the canon, Jesus loves us. God is a bitter old man.
Well, it's
but
it's not that he's not a bitter old man. He's I mean, think about it. God is just another word for nature.
Right.
Okay. All of the things that happen, it is. God is all knowing. If you say, well, okay, well, God is just nature. Okay. Well, things naturally happen. If you behave this way, things will happen a certain way. If you behave this way, and it happens that way pretty much every time. So it's almost written in stone, so to speak, kind of like the 10 Commandments. But
if you think about it, every religion has that principle. Do unto
yes.
others you would have do unto you. Science proves that to be a fact. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Right. So
to put it simply, you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. It's
right. So there's right. But the thing is, though, when we were monkeys, we climbed down out of the trees, we became self-aware, and we began to break those rules. And every time we broke those rules, everything went to shit. And we didn't know why. So why? Why does it go to shit? Well, it must be God, right? So, we were just trying to explain why we behaved the way we did and why we should. But every animal behaves a way that it behaves. It has behavioral patterns that it has evolved to live by, and so have we. But we're the only one that really questions it. We're the only one that can go against it hardcore, and it usually ends up leading to terrible shit happening. But it doesn't mean that those rules aren't absolute. It doesn't mean that we can't get rid of them. So that's why I don't know. When a lot of atheists, when I talk to them, and I'm like, well, yeah, I believe morality is absolute. And they're like, well, that's ridiculous. And it's like, well, I don't know. It's like, look, it's like, okay, you can't murder. Is that an absolute? Well, what if we accept the opposite of that?
You have
what
to
if
murder.
Or that it's good, or that it's perfectly acceptable to murder? What happens to our species? What happens to society? Everything would fall apart. We would just be going around killing each other. It would lead to hate and anger, and like we're not evolved to accept that.
Right.
So, yeah, that's kind of absolute. It has to be this way, or we don't have a peaceful society. And that's, like I say, that's one of the reasons why I kind of lean libertarian, is because I see taxation as a force for theft. And I think that if you begin to do that, you've accepted something that we're not really, it's hard for us to accept. And once we accept it, I don't think there's a limit to how much we will take. So I think that every time we go down that road, our monkey nature gets the better of us. So that's just the way that have come to see things, so to speak. But yeah,
I get that.
I also don't generally, like I said, I don't generally advertise like to my family that I'm an atheist, but I've gotten a lot of debates and discussions, and and I have to say, of the people that I have known and the people that I have talked to, some of the biggest assholes I've ever met were atheists.
Oh my God. Yo, for real. I mean, I and I'm not gonna lie, I was one 5-6 years ago. Before I realized I'm no better than the people crying. I am being such an ungrateful dickhead right now.
That's like somebody's like, oh, I think God is this or that, and like somebody's like, we don't need your fucking fantasy sky, dude. And it's like, oh, just calm down, Jesus.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
like it's and I think there's a big thing that a lot of like need to understand in terms of from an empathetic perspective. The Christians trying to indoctrinate you and asking you the same questions and apologetics that you and I have heard countless times from countless Christians and Buddhists and Muslims and just every person in a faith
right?
is they like, but especially with the from the Christian and Islam and like the in Judaism, like the Abrahamic religion, they are trying to save you. The way that
Right.
from their perspective, you are in danger, damning your soul, and they're trying to help you get on a path. So the way I look at it and approach these conversations now is that it's not malintent. Usually, if they're being snide and jerky about it, that's one thing. But the
Right.
majority of Christians who are trying to who want to have these conversations, it's almost less. In a lot of cases, they're more curious and less trying to force it down your throat.
Yeah. I mean, the whole, I have definitely run into to the judgmental religious.
You're also in.
Hmm?
So you also came up in Florida and West Virginia.
Well,
Religion tends to be the bedrock of communities.
yeah. The thing is, I have to say, some of the nicest people I've ever met live up in the hills of West Virginia, and are religious, and like my great grandmother lived up there until she died, and she was never had much money, could sing. She had a piano. She'd sing hymns. She lived in this little tiny house that was maybe six or
Matchbox.
seven, 600 or 700 square feet, I guess. I don't know. It was a very small house. And if somebody stopped by, she would feed them. Like, she would make you something to eat, and she would tell you a story about somebody. And there was a story that she would tell about this guy that she worked with, and he was a thief. And she would talk for 20 minutes to get around the fact that he was actually stealing. She would try to explain it so that he didn't seem like a bad person. Like, she never saw the bad in anybody. If there are saints, she was the closest person I ever met, and like I say, I've met a lot of people who are, like I say, I've met some judgmental Christians, but I have met a lot of people who are atheists that I think it's like, because they believe that what they think about religion is based in logic, they assume that everything else they think must be also correct.
And that is a huge level of hubris on their part.
Right.
Which
And
let's be frank, is just it's not it's yes, I think I'm right, and I think that, like, people who are I think I'm right in this, because every day they explain scientifically, like, events in the Bible and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, that doesn't give you an excuse to treat others the way you don't treat it. You know,
right.
one of the I had a really interesting experience with when I was at the mall. I was at the mall with some friends, and we were just walking around talking, and then we go into the store. And while they're all looking around, like, I get stopped by these two girls, and look to be about, like, late middle, early high school girls, you know. And they're trying to fundraise and sell these little drawings and stuff for their youth group. And basically, what ends up happening is is that I say, hey, I'm not paying $25 from that. I'll donate $10, and they have a card reader, and I do that. It's fine. And we start talking, and they start trying, and it's a youth group that was it's a religious youth group, Christian youth group.
Right.
And then they start talking, and I say, oh, I admit, but I'm being very cordial, and then I say, oh, I'm an atheist. And then, as I'm, like, fiddling on my phone and listening to stuff, they start asking questions, like, in, like, exactly what, like, the exact one, like, and we go into it, and we go through the conversation. I'm like, what church are you guys a part of? And I'm like, they say the Unification Church, and I'm just like, oh, okay, not clicking what the Unification Church actually is. And so I say and then they say, I don't know if you know, you might know us by another name, the Moonies. And I'm just like, and I just like, I apologize, but I need you guys to give me a refund immediately because I'm not supporting it. I refuse to have my money go and support a cult. Now you and I, and other atheists debate all day long about what like the definition of a cult. Like I like the terminology of a cult is what a big congregation calls a little congregation, but in the terms of the quote unquote derogatory term of just like manipulation, financial, all that stuff, yeah, the Moonies are a fucking cult, and I just donated $10 to the goddamn Moonies, and it's just, and they're just like like and they're fine giving, and they were fine giving it back to me, and they went to go try.
I was gonna say, if you gave $10 to the cult, we're gonna have to stop talking. I can't be on here with you.
Oh no!
Just kidding.
No! They ended up having to give me cash because their person who leader basically who sent them out basically like sent it so they couldn't give refunds. So they just end up handing me like $10 in cash, and I'm just like, I mean, all right. and they keep trying to say no, it's not like I can send you some stuff. I'm like, I don't. I've done my research. Like you're visibly a Vietnamese girl and a white girl, children, saying you're 19 and 17 respectively, flat out lying. And you're calling you're calling each other by with Korean suffixes, and you call and the chick who leader you call, and I'm like I'm it's like this surreal experience, and I'm just like I regret not giving them my phone number and say, yo, you guys need somebody like call the police for you. I'm happy to, for real. Oh, it was just and here's kind of and I got into, and like there was like a period like 2 years ago where I just like learning about cults and conspiracy theories and stuff, the real ones like Mormons, Scientology, Operation Northwoods, Paperclip, Tuskegee experience, stuff like that, like stuff that actually happened, not none of this flat Earth like BS or people thinking climate change, or people thinking climate change isn't real, like on the actual conspiracy theories, So my thing is, I knew all this stuff, and then my friends are walking by me as we're out, like trying to get back to me, and they say to me, "Yo, Evan, are you okay?" Like, 1 second, I'm getting a refund. And now, this is all they were at the other end of the store talking about some cashier. Their extent of what they know happened was I was donating money to a good cause, and now I'm asking for a refund. so all they're thinking is, what the fuck happened? And then I get my money back. I continue, I give them a couple books to read, like Sun Tzu's The Art of War, 40 Laws of like just some stuff, just like the Lean Startup, Frankenstein books, like classics and stuff. Like go read Brave New World, go read Lord Dunsany's A Dreamer's Tales, go read War of the Worlds, do something, like 1,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Right.
So just go read some like thought, like the Martian Chronicles, and then we leave, and they say, and basically like they try to go to my friends afterwards. I call to, like, as we're walking out, and I call to them and say, I'm the nice one. They will roast the fuck out of you. And so they asked I walk up to my buddy, Evan, what happened? And he said, accidentally donated to a cult. Let's go. And I walk off like it was nothing. Because I tried to explain who the Moonies were. The hell are they? Because they don't know. They don't know. It's it's interesting. It's like the Moonies don't have like a Leah Remini against. just like the first person to like them an enemy of. It's spooky. But oh my god, that was an interesting event to say the least. Oh man, I'm actually like just still thinking like I feel so sorry for the tree. Oh man, I'm so sorry. That sucks. But oh my god. Anywho, so you said that. Before I rudely interjected, and I am so sorry. You were talking about how our grandmother was like the most saintly.
Oh yeah. Like I say, I've it, as I've gotten older, I've always kind of been an atheist, but I've become not an anti-theist.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
because I see the moral lessons that are there in the stories, the symbolism. I understand. It's like, okay, so if you get the morals out of the stories, it's like, look, okay, some people be, it's like some atheists are like, okay, well, what about slavery in the Bible and this and that? And it's like,
Yeah.
look, the stories were written in a different time. Okay, look, there was
slavery is a different monster from like slavery.
If you look at if you watch a Harry Potter movie,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there's slavery in a Harry Potter movie. Does that mean that the overarching story of good versus evil is a bad one? Or it's like that was what they did at the time, and it's just it's like the religion is just a story that the people wrote to try to pass on the morality that the rules that they had figured out through trial and error. And the thing is, a lot of those stories were copied from stories that were much older anyway, and that's like
various languages and
yeah, and it's one of the, like I say, that's Jordan Peterson talks about it a lot, where it's like, the story of Jesus is also the story of Horus, and it's like he dies on the cross and is reborn, just like Pinocchio, and just like Harry Potter, like that's in stories throughout history of death and rebirth, and the self-sacrifice, and like the symbolism. It's always been there. So it's like, I'm not against those stories, and I'm not against people believing in them. I don't necessarily, like I say, I don't believe that God is a sentient thing, but I believe that some of the things that God represents really are there. Like the symbols, this thing it's a symbol of a bunch of things, but just because some of them, just because God isn't a actual person doesn't mean that those things they're not, doesn't mean that the stories are completely useless. Now we can get to the same conclusions as those stories by looking at human behavior and how things have turned out through history, and our evolution, and logic and reason,
and how other faiths that aren't Abrahamic based have the same sort of moral principles as we do.
Right. So my only concern is that a lot of times when we do abandon religion and we start to base we begin to base our societies and behaviors on our reasoning, we seem to be able to justify just about anything.
Yep.
Now don't get me wrong. I guess religion doesn't prevent that. It's just another,
religion is an easy way of teaching a lot of people good morals quickly without much, if any, effort on a parent's part. The reason why I have good morals is because I was taught these morals, not
right.
because and my mom is could be considered a religious woman. She's gotten more religious as she's gotten older. She's found the church again, but for the longest time, she always championed asking questions, exploring.
Right.
We didn't really go to church because she was a single mom, didn't have a lot of time, So and a lot of my morals and principles I got from her saying this is wrong, this is right. I also got from my stepfather his principles of just hard, uh, tell the truth, don't be disingenuous. Of do it if you say you're going to do something, do it. Obligations, just very like I think the ideals of America of 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 innovation, of working hard, of trying to better
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Those
That's another thing that like I've got into with discussions with people on the left. And I mean, here's the thing. I think that this country was founded on basically Western, the Judeo-Christian values, and a lot of it was basically
kind of
libertarian.
kind of
It was
it was
a
definitely
kind of
more
a
it was definitely more libertarian, but I will like
right. And
the
the thing is,
Christian element comes
it's
from
like my I believe that idea. Me personally, I believe that idea is perfect. And they're like, well, what about slavery and blah, blah, and it's like, well, I don't believe that our execution has ever been perfect.
I mean,
We
let's be
had we had a
honest. We had to fight for the right to like the Americans have had to fight for the right to day one because only people of rich people land were able to vote.
well, yes. The thing is, in a way, I understand why they did that.
And I do understand too, but
And I don't know how to get it. It still comes down to if you let people vote to take something, they'll just vote to take more. So if you let the people who have stuff vote, then they're never going to vote. But then you're excluding, So it's like I've actually thought about it. It's like, how do we ever get to? It seems like we set up a government that's supposed to do certain things, and they did that, and they believe that they set it up so that it would never become overarching, it would never become tyrannical, or at least they tried.
Well, at the same time, they've also written. They said that the Constitution should be written every 15 years. Ben Franklin and Thomas Jefferson wrote.
Yeah, I don't know if I would. Maybe I don't know if I agree with that or not. And it's. I think that like the first 10, the Bill of Rights, I think are based. They're principle based, and I don't think they ever change. Now, I do believe that we have tried to change the interpretation to fit our will, but the basic principles of those never change. The problem is a lot of the times we haven't put those principles in effect in everything. It's like, okay, well, the Second Amendment, you have the right to bear arms. Well, except for certain minorities, or except for these people, or people that live here, or certain. It's like, okay,
with this record, or people, yeah,
right,
or with freedom of speech. It's in theory you're supposed to be able to say anything, but what you're not, but but in America, like, one of the things you can't do is you can't incite violence or panic or anything like
right,
that.
right. You can't. Call to action is not an acceptable. So
right, which I mean, which if you think about it, it's like I understand the reasoning there, but it also in some cases could hinder to start certain movements that are necessary to quote unquote fight tyranny. So it's and states' right in the 10th Amendment has always been just like it really has always up in the air. It's always been up in the air. It's states like it's weird amalgamation of the federal government has power over the states, but states have rights. So it's like what there's no black and white answer for that. It's like one of the examples I think about is say the Civil War. It's the people the states. They say the southern states seceded because the federal government was trampling on their rights and stuff. But the southern government, the southern states were more than happy to trample on northern states' rights when in terms of like the capture quote unquote runaway slaves and stuff. So it's just the thing about the Constitution is because it's so open to interpretation, it really does fall victim to what the majority of people time.
Yeah, the thing is, though, I think that was what they were trying to avoid. I was like, okay, well, let's set down certain principles, and if we can keep those.
Like that. Well, the Federalists wanted it to be a loose interpretation. It allows for a more dynamic. It allows for like both the states and the federal government to act more dynamically. And then you had the anti-federal Republicans, from which all political parties that exist today stem from. I don't know if you know the history behind it. Like between the Federalists and the anti?
A little bit.
So basically, the Federalists basically consist of in terms of the founding fathers, basically the big ones really consisted of Alexander Hamilton, John Adams, and to a lesser extent George Washington. George Washington was a neutral party, and looking at his background, being a guy from Virginia and man of means, he should have been an anti-federalist in the southern state. But he voted more often than not with the Federalists, which the Federalists were for a stronger central government, and the anti-Federalists, the Democratic Republicans, were basically were basically the opposite. As small and powerless as possible, the states states basically govern themselves, and that's basically it. And the Federalist Party absolved after Adams lost to Jefferson, and then we were a one-party system, I think, until just after Andrew Jackson. I think after Andrew Jackson's tenure as president, which part of the reason that man was able to do atrocities and rip up the financial system and all that stuff, because there was a one-party system in Congress.
Right.
I read a lot. I used to be, before I got into programming, I was a teacher. Oh man. So how did you end up becoming? Actually, you know what? Before we go into that question, let's actually do a quick break commercial. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. After these brief commercial breaks. Please hold. And we are back. Thank you for your patience. And in this second part, I actually wanted to lean more back into the nerdy gaming stuff. So I wanted to ask, what was the first PC you built back in the day?
First PC I built had an AMD 300 megahertz processor, and oh god, I don't remember I just remember it was when AMD was starting to really compete with
Intel.
And it wasn't long after that I went from the 300 to the in a year or two, they came out with a gigahertz processor, which was like, that was amazing at the time. And God, I don't even remember the memory. But I remember there used to be computer shows, and I would go to these computer shows, and there would be all kinds of booths and people selling. There'd be a guy there selling different types of video cards, and
hold on one sec. You're cutting out. You're cutting out a little. Okay.
Is that better?
Much better.
Sorry, my microphone was.
You're good. You're good. So you're saying you went to computer shows. So.
Yeah, there were computer shows, and you would go, and they would be in like hotels and stuff, and it would be like big, they would rent, like, I don't know if you've ever been to a gun show, but it was like that, where it was just tables of parts, and you would go around, and everybody there was like crazy about computer parts, and they had like really good deals on,
So it's like Comic-Con or a farm show.
Kinda, yeah. And there'd just be all kinds of parts, and that's where I bought, my first CPU and motherboard and everything there. Case, like the first computer I ever built was all built from parts from one of those shows, because the internet wasn't quite what it is today. If you get on, and I think the search engine at the time was Ask Jeeves.
Oh, wow. I mean,
I don't know if you ever.
What was Ultima Online available yet?
No. Ultima was. So the old Ultima.
That's what it was. Yeah. That's what I meant to say. Well, here's a bigger question. What was the first game? Like, what was the first like big box PC game you got?
Huh. Oh man, that depends on. So, I mean, I used to play video games when I was a teenager, and we had was it an Atari 1040 ST, an Atari ST, and it came with floppy disks, the old 3-inch floppy disks. And I don't know if you've ever seen Dungeon Master.
I have.
That was
that is a fun game.
One of my first all time. And that game, for its time, it was amazing that they put that much content and that kind of graphics. I mean, nothing compared to today's graphics, obviously, but on a single floppy drive. Like, everyone was absolutely amazed by it. And God, there were so many games. So we used to play Sundog. But then I'm trying to think. I don't know. This is so many.
If I could make a recommendation, when you get a chance, in today, since I know you have a little bit of time today, go online and check out Lazy Game Review. He does his channel is all 70s, 80s, 90s tech. He reviews old. He does a review series where he reviews old games. Like he has reviews for games I've never even heard. It's like he did the obvious ones like of Commander, Doom, and Morrowind, Daggerfall, big one. But he also does like some like I've just never in my life, like Escape from, like what was it called? Fight Mountain or whatever it's called. Just a lot of weird stuff. It's really, really interesting, and I feel like if you were to do that, it would just be like down memory lane.
Huh.
Were you one of those people who had a like with the roommates like computers in like one room playing like arena together and whatever? Is that a little or was that a little after your?
We used to play. Oh God, there was a. I know there was a time where we used to go out, hang out with a buddy of mine, and he had a computer, and we would hang out and drink and play. It was a war game. It was God, what the hell was it called? But it would
Command and Conquer.
No. It was before. It was turn based.
Turn based.
And each one of us got to take a turn. So there would be like 6 of us playing. So we go over there and hang out and play this. And each one of them, like, you would sit down at the computer, take your turn. All right, it's your turn. You get up. The next guy sits down, and it comes to his turn. And we would play. And it was a fantasy, dragons and and cities and stuff. And it was a turn-based strategy game, but you could have multiple players on a single PC. So
that was just your week. That was just your weekends. It was just getting.
Yeah. We used to. It was
hit-hand and fighting each other in an RTS.
Yeah. Well, it was either Dungeons and Dragons. So.
Yeah. Oh, you're a D&D guy too, huh?
Yeah.
me and my buddies actually play a little D. We play D. Like for some reason, all the nerds that we all play. All of us play D&D. Granted, the D&D we play is a highly bad. It is not. We don't follow any books. We literally, our GM literally built it all from the ground up.
Oh no! I had a buddy that tried to do that and never. Buddy, I don't know. The thing is, I don't know if you've ever played any games by Chaosium.
Well, and part of the reason I think we love it so much is we've never played a real game of D&D.
Oh, well, I mean, the thing is, like I've played a little bit of D&D, but really I played. I don't know if you Call of Cthulhu. That's a Chaosium. Yeah, that's a Chaosium game.
We are some of the people we play with are just tired of fantasy, so we usually play like a sort of like a Shadowrun bastardization.
Played Shadowrun. But yeah, I tell you the game that there's a gaming system called Rollmaster that a buddy of mine used to run some of the stuff, and it's the most realistic system I've ever seen. As far as the thing is, they make.
Randy, I apologize again. Double check your mic one more time before. I don't want to have you cut out and have to repeat yourself because that would suck.
Okay. Does that sound better?
Because what you're saying is interesting. So yeah, and that sounds better.
So he ran this, and so it was I think it was called Rollmaster, and they had a space module. So they had a fantasy module, a horror module, a space module. Like the space module, if you were actually doing combat in space, you had to understand math, because it would make you figure out velocity and turn radius, and you had to all this stuff was figured in. I've never seen anything like it, but I don't know, it was too complicated though. We only played that for a short time. Yeah, I've always been into role playing. I haven't done it in years though. Although I got my sons into it a little bit, but we also haven't done it in years. So
I don't know if you know this, but you can probably find Discord communities where they do D&D and stuff, where they have multiple DMs that DM for the players and all that, and they have spreadsheets and everything. Doing D&D now is so much. And you don't even have to leave your house. You can put in your headphones, load up Discord, and you're good to go. So if you really want to get back into it, I just go looking, and you'll might even be able to find a community that you and your sons can join together and play in your spare time.
Yeah,
I don't know. The nice part about it is, sorry, go ahead.
We've been trying to play. Even they work and I work. We all live together. It's me and my 2 sons that live here in my house. So we work and we have trouble getting time to really do much of anything. We've been trying to play. Oh God, what is the name of that game? Divinity.
Original Sin.
Yeah. We've been trying to play that for some time. We just never have the time. So like, I don't know. I've my priorities have changed as I've gotten older. Like,
I mean, they always do. I mean, my priorities back in the day was play video games, eat as much food as humanly possible, pray I get laid. And now my priorities have changed to make as much money as possible, try to fit time for a little bit of video games between, and try to avoid women as try to avoid like getting a girl pregnant because that would be the end. I'd be done. I would have to leave my business behind. I'd have to go get a normal job because if she decides, if I get a girl knocked up and she decides to keep the kid, I'd be damned if I'm going to be this. I'd be damned if I'm going to be like a fraction of I'm going to be the best. My real father ain't shit. So I want to be the best. I want to give this kid the best friend.
Yeah. Well, that's a it gives a meaning to your life. I mean, the thing is, my dad wasn't really there for me growing up, and then I kind of made the same mistake. I wasn't there for my sons for a good part of their life, and then
now they're living at home, and you're getting and that's
yeah.
Vengeance.
So now it's
that's the universe's vengeance on you.
Yeah.
hey, you know what? If you ever do want to play D&D with them, you can just say, "Hey, you're living in my house. Come play D&D with your father."
Well, I mean, here's the thing. My 27, he's actually because we've all gamed before, but it's been a couple of years, and so now he's like, "Hey, you should start up you should get a campaign going. You should do this." And I'm like, "Oh man, I just." But between work and then, like I say, I bought this house 3 years ago, and it was built in 1949, and it's 3 acres, and there is a lot to take care of. It's just my weekends are full. I'm constantly outside working in the yard. Like I say, I'm raising chickens and rabbits, and I've got I've got bees, and I'm growing food, and it's just a full time thing, So
yeah,
but I don't know. It takes up a lot of my time. Well, like I say, today it's raining. I
can't do anything outside. Yeah, it sucks. But I mean, it's tropical storm season's just about to be over now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least you're gonna have some more temperate weather for the next few months.
Yeah.
Up here in Delaware, we have 12 seasons. Or no, 8 seasons. My apologies. So we have Devil's Crotch Hell, it's so hot, kill me. Then we have then we have False Fall. Then we have Second Summer. Then we have Actual Fall. And then we have False Winter. We have Second Fall. We have not Second Fall. We have Third Summer, then Second Fall, then Dear God, I Want to Die. Why is it freaking cold? Then we have Fake Spring. Then we have Fake Spring. We have Second Winter. Then we have 2 weeks of actual spring. Then we go into fake. We go into fake summer. We get another cold spell, and then we're in Devil's Crotch again.
Yeah, we're just pretty much. It's hot. It's real hot, and then it gets less hot, and then we have winter, which is more like a fall. It's crazy because it's
I can't imagine.
I've
summertime. Oh my!
I've
God.
seen it it's Christmas Day. It's 80 degrees outside, and but then it's the next day or the next 2 days, it's you got to bring your plants in because they're going to freeze. So that's kind of up and down during the winter, but during the summer, it's just straight. You got about 3 months where it's 95 degrees every day. So
and the humidity. That's the big thing.
Yeah, it was 93 here yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's
I can deal with heat. I can deal with heat like a hot sun. When the humidity is just, you can't escape it.
I don't mind it if I'm moving around. I don't like to just sit in the heat. Like if I go outside and work and do stuff and be moving around, I'm fine. But if I got to sit in it, and I'll tell you, I moved to Michigan for about 3 years. I lived up there. Back in, I was living in Michigan when the Twin Towers came down. That was about a year before I left Michigan. So I was up there during like 2000, 2001, I think. And so, but I never realized just how cold it was. Like all the time it seemed. You ever been outside and you were out too long and you got really cold and you came inside and you get like a hot bath or hot shower and you can feel the heat soaking into you?
Yeah, it's like there gets to a point where it's like
your skin is cold, you're cold right to your bone, and you come into the warmth and like you can
feel how cold you really were. But what's even scarier is when you don't even. That's when.
When I moved back from Michigan to Florida, I felt like that for.
I can't imagine. Like Mike, we've been trying to get my granddaddy up to Florida for years to come up here again. He's from Concordville, Pennsylvania. He's from up here. He ran a business here. He's like old G. He moved down to Florida years ago, and just like my uncle went down with him at like age 10 or whatever. And now it's like if they come up here and it's not August, they get. They hate the cold. They always bitch and moan, and complain and moan. Just like
When I first I moved up to Michigan. I moved to Michigan for the promise of a job. I was going to get trained as a machinist. I left here. I had almost nothing. I took a little U-Haul and I had a motor because I lived in Florida. I just rode a motorcycle everywhere. I had a little 600.
Hold on. And I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just got a notification book that you remember that Game Boy Color I told you about?
Yeah.
She just lowered it from 70 to 50. Still way too much.